So Scarlett Johansson said that she should be able to play a tree if she wants to. And it makes sense because trees are the homes of birds. It's Monday. Hopefully when you're watching this, I'm recording it on Monday. So I know I already said it, but I am going to New Orleans. I'm leaving on Wednesday. The international program that I graduated high school from, IB, they invited me to come to their global conference to speak for just a couple of minutes about my experience and to introduce their keynote speaker. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully I can get some footage for you guys so you can see it. I don't know if I'll be bringing my camera up there. It's for the whole weekend. So if you see like some of the same outfits, it's just because I tried to record a little bit of something for y'all to watch while I'm away. I'll see if I can bring my camera just so I can record. But yeah, I got a little nervous because I saw there was a lot of like flash flooding and weather going on over there. But they emailed me yesterday and saying like, well girl, it's still gonna happen. So yeah, I'm hella excited. Make sure that you go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. There will be votes and polls being held tomorrow about the topic video that I'll be releasing on Monday coming, and also on the article that I'll be writing over there on Thursday. So if you want to put your 2 cents in on the topics that I talk about, go ahead over there, patreon.com/AdrianExpression, and sign up. Let's get into it. First of all, Missy Elliott came out here for this magazine, Marie Claire, and she is just return of the legend. Like, she's coming back. Apparently she's working on this new album. She said she wants to get the boys, she wants to get everybody excited about Dance Again. She's like, it's not corny, it's cool. Missy Elliott has always been so open about her creative process and about her life experience. So I don't know, her every time she talks is really inspirational. The article over there is really cool, so if you want to check it out. I don't know, these pictures were so cute. Missy Elliott has always been ahead of her time, so it's really, I don't know, it's really amazing to see her come out here and walking and speaking in her power. Very interested, very excited to hear your music coming up, Missy. We are all happy for you. A living legend, if you will. So Megan Thee Stallion released this little trailer thing on her Twitter page. You should go check it out. It's with Hype Williams. Apparently she's coming out with some like movie type shit, or like maybe like a film, a short film or something. There's no official release date yet. All she said was that it's coming soon. I'm really excited. I just think it's so cool to see all these female rappers just stepping outside of the box. I think Cash Doll did something like this with her song called Hustler. You should look that up. It's like a little short film. Megan Thee Stallion's coming with this, visual. I love to see it. The creativity jumped out. That's why I don't understand what Jermaine Dupri was talking about. It's like, these women are out here really pushing the envelope, raising the bar. From you whack ass niggas, none of you niggas out here really pushing this shit like that. All y'all do is mumble, release that shit, and it just burns out. And you create another one and it burns out. I sound like my fave. So the women are out here inspiring the hell out of me, and that's why it's just like, girl, I gotta get my ass up and keep working. That's it. And speaking of working, Kat from Euphoria is over here working every peen that she can find. She's standing in her power. She said, what did she say? She said there's nothing more powerful than a fat girl who doesn't give a fuck. I don't know. I love it. Jules seems to be like, okay sis, I just kissed Rue just because I was going through it and it was a rebound. I didn't realize she was actually really super duper in love with me. I think that Jules understands that Rue is just really holding on to her when it comes to trying to keep herself clean and off of them drugs. I don't know, if you are not watching Euphoria, you need to get into it, girl. It is everything. That dumb jock was over here choking Maddie out like her neck was some Play-Doh. And then the father came in like the white man he is, talking about, girl, you better not. Did you admit to it? Well, we're gonna fight this thing. Okay, boo. And the bruises looked like he was fighting Maddie's neck, so I don't know what to tell him. And either way, get on Miss Euphoria. It's everything. Watch it. I watch it religiously every Sunday. Come on, reliving high school trauma. So I wanted to talk about what Young Thug, I don't know what interview he said it on, what Young Thug said about Lil Nas X coming out. So at first I read it out, I read the headline, I was like, sis, I was getting ready to, start fighting because it seemed like it was about to be something extremely homophobic. But Young Thug wasn't even trying to make fun of Lil Nas or anything. He said that it was a boss move that nigga came out, but he was just concerned about the judgment that Lil Nas X would receive, because he was just like, oh, well, every time they hear his music, it's gonna be like, oh, that's that gay shit. And I put on Twitter, I was like, it seems like this nigga it seems like Young Thug might be projecting a little bit. Maybe he may want to say something about his sexuality, maybe he doesn't. He had that whole thing about about dresses and stuff. And of course, just because you wear a dress does not mean that you're gay. But I remember he was cuddled up with some nigga at the hospital. I don't know, girl. Either way, it seemed like how he was speaking, he wanted to tell the world something, or he wants to be more open about whatever, but he just understands how judgmental people are. And it seemed like he was coming from a protective place when he was talking about Lil Nas X. It didn't seem like a homophobic place. For those of you who heard or saw what he said, I'd like for you to, let me know what you think about the comments. Let me know if you think I'm on the money or not. But it seemed like Young Thug was almost speaking about himself when he was talking about Lil Nas coming out. So yeah, check that out. All right, let's get on Miss Lackluster. Nobody gives a fuck about Black Widow. Let's get on Miss Scarlett Joe Steelerson. Let's get on Scarlett Appropriations. And like, we have to talk about it. So she got dragged about that trans role. I'm sure you guys know about it. She got dragged about it. She was recently asked about it in an interview, and this is what she said. She was just like, she said, as an actor, I should be allowed to play any person or any tree or any animal because that is my job and the requirements of my job. She continued, I wish she didn't. I feel like it's a trend in my business and it needs to happen for various social reasons, yet there are times it does get uncomfortable when it affects the art, because I feel like art should be free of restrictions and Scarlett says, what, you made like $40 million? What's your net worth? Millions and millions of dollars. You as a white, cis, actor can get these roles that trans, that black, that minorities, that gay motherfuckers have to fight their entire lives for. So you know what? How entitled do you have to be to think that you are owed every role, knowing good and well that you will never be wanting for coin, that you can literally hop to whatever studio, whatever casting call and be okay. Meanwhile, there are straight actors playing gay characters while the gay actors themselves can't get roles. Do you see what I'm saying? When you're in a position of privilege, when you're in a position of power, it will be tasteful for you to approach taking these roles in ways that are not tone deaf. What you've shown time and time again is that you only care about yourself. And what's ironic is that these characters that you're trying to play, if these characters were real, they would be the ones that you're fucking over. It's so crazy. You're trying to play these, whatever, trans characters, whatever, minority characters, and if those characters were actually existed in real life based off of their identity, you would represent the oppression, you would represent the roadblocks that they face every day in their lives. So how you trying to play these minority characters while fucking over minority people in real life? That shit don't make no sense. That shit don't make no sense, girl. Hang it up. Girl, they said on Twitter that your acting roles remind them of Roger from American Dad, and I sat in here, threw my head back and hollered because it's so true. I don't understand how these privileged people have such, prominent careers. They can do anything they want. They make as much money as they want, but get so upset when these minorities who have to fight, who have to struggle to even get their foot in the door, get so upset when these minorities want to portray minorities on screen. It's not gonna hurt your bottom line. It's not gonna hurt your bank account to get up off these minority roles. It's not going to hurt you at all. And you playing with these roles when it could be a career maker for a minority who is actually disenfranchised. Scarlett, sit your ass down. Then you came out here with this half-ass, oh well girl, I'm a cis straight white person and we hold different privileges in the society. I'm just like, girl, your publicist is working really hard to try and clean up the mess that you're making, and every time you open your mouth you prove over and over who you are. We're not interested in seeing Black Widow's dumbass do some flips and gymnast tricks on Thanos' peen. We're not interested, girl. Keep that movie. You're gonna be spewing water guns at intergalactic foes, not making any type of sense. The nerd is jumping out. Sit your ass down, baby, and just shut it up. If your publicist would say, hey sis, anytime you feel like you want to speak on race or minority issues, just fucking don't. How about that? That would be the best advice that you ever received in your goddamn life. Shut the hell up. It seems like every video now I'm standing for Beyonce, but that's just because she's doing all this promotion. There was this UK premiere event for The Lion King and sis came out here looking so goddamn good. Oh my goodness, that leg was out, this heel was high, stilettos pumps in the club. Who would have ever thought that I would tear Lion King up? That's it, just on period. Sis was out here looking like a sexy ass sunflower. She came out here looking like a seductive ass Sunny D bottle. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I'm completely here for it. I'm also here for Jay-Z rocking his hair out at these events. And of course, I saw some pushback even from black people. I'm just like, girl, that's how his hair grows out of his head. If these white people can wake up and that's how their hair grows out of their head, and they can go to these events, he can do that same shit too. That's called black ass hair, and we're gonna make sure that we view it ourselves. We view it as acceptable to be able to do that shit, okay? It doesn't have to be cut, doesn't have to be straight. It can grow how it grows, and that's acceptable because it's your damn genetics. What also got me excited was the fact that Beyonce met Meghan Markle, and you can look at this really quick, and people were saying that she said my princess when she came in for this hug. I'm not that amazing at reading lips, but that's exactly what I thought she said. They had a cute little conversation. They was talking. Very happy to see two queens come together. The acknowledgement, that's what I put on Twitter. I was like, the acknowledgement, the affirmation. I had to stand on that one. It was just such a beautiful moment. This is gonna go down in history. The other girls simply cannot relate. Cannot wait to see this movie at some point. Like I said, I'm gonna be traveling this weekend, so maybe I'll get a chance to see it. But I hope that y'all get this CGI right, because some of these clips was not looking cute. I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm gonna go watch it. Y'all lucky I love Beyonce. I'm gonna go watch it. Speaking of somebody else that I love, Serena Williams was recently on some interview, and she was asked, you know, essentially, how do you respond to people saying that you should just stop being a celebrity and focus on tennis and stop fighting for all this equality bullshit? And she was just like, girl, the day that I stop fighting for equality is the day that I'll be in my grave. Thank you. And she got her ass out. And I was just like, why would you ask, of all people, a black woman when she's gonna stop trying to fight for equality or standing up for her goddamn self or her people? I was just like, girl, black women are some of the most disenfranchised people in this damn society. Why the fuck would she stop? Would she just lay down and let y'all walk all over her? Y'all are so, it's just so annoying, because y'all want subjugation. That's what y'all want. Y'all want us to just shut the hell up and accept the abuse. It's not gonna happen, okay? We're gonna keep talking. And a lot of times it's black women who are the first to stand up, and we see that especially in the case of ASAP Rocky, who years ago was just like, girl, I live in Beverly Hills, I live in Soho, like, why would I can't relate to what y'all talking about, all that Ferguson stuff. All lives matter. Every time a black person comes out here, I gotta stand up and say something. I don't relate. I was just like, and everybody dragged his ass and he didn't get it, but now, girl, he there were reports that he got locked the hell up in Sweden. I know that's not funny. You know, black people we don't want them to be locked the fuck up, but girl, it's just the irony jumped out. Sis was over here talking about, I don't need to be talking about black issues. I don't need to be saying nothing. Every time I'm not Al Sharpton, and now they begging Al Sharpton to help him get released from Sweden. Apparently, there was some clash that happened between two men, and ASAP Rocky and his entourage, they ended up brawling. ASAP Rocky saying that, you know, him and his team, they just had to defend themselves from these people. Sweden is saying that there was an investigation on these men. It's kind of sounding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of sounding like these men were the ones who started it. Either way, at the time that I'm recording this, ASAP Rocky is still in jail, and they're saying apparently that Rocky will remain behind bars until July 19th at least. And that is when the Swedish prosecutors must decide whether to file a prosecution or to ask the court for a longer detention period in order to finalize the investigation. But I don't know, he was over here saying all lives matter, all that black issue shit don't matter, and it's just, the clown literally went from fucking Earth to Venus to Saturn, did a little, you know, pass through the asteroid belt, went to Pluto, then came all the way back to Earth just to bite. And speaking of somebody else who the clown needs to bite, it needs to go ahead and take a huge chunk out of Donald Trump's toupee. Just go ahead and remove that fake, remove that lie from the top of his scalp, because we already see right through that shit. No Nicki Minaj. Trump recently went up to go ahead and tweet this shit about the freshman congresswomen who are over here fighting in the face of this fucked up ass, oh, let's keep the establishment going bullshit ass Democrats, really out here trying to change some shit. He was just like, well, girl, stop complaining about our country, stop complaining about our government, and go back to the countries from which you came, since they're just crime infested and their governments don't work. And it was just, it's really crazy, because all the congresswomen were born in the United States. They were born in the United States, so we already know that that is extremely racist rhetoric, but we're not surprised. I'm not going to spend too much time giving Donald Trump too much of the limelight, but I just want him to understand that it doesn't matter how many times he rolls his trash bag body built ass in some Cheeto dust, we can see into the depths of his soul. We see the racism, we see the bigotry, we see the discrimination. It's not shocking to anyone. Mindsets lead to rhetoric, which leads to policies, and we're talking about policies, all these ICE raids going on. I already seen some videos pills, and people being held down like they're damn dogs. I hate to see it, and we're not too sensitive, and it's not just jokes. It's not just a tweet, not when ICE is coming in here knocking on people's doors with or without warrants, taking their ass away. I'm tired of that shit, and I'm gonna end this video on a light note, as light as this can be. This is Helga. Let everyone say hello to Helga. She's Trump's Border Patrol chief, and she's recently been found to be in one of those secret Facebook groups where they exchange racist messages, making fun of immigrants, making fun of dead immigrants. Recently been found to be in that group. So everyone just say hello to her. We're going to all understand, and we're going to make sure we all know that she's constructed like Miss Trunchbull, okay? She's constructed like a disintegrating pizza in the face, okay? She's constructed like Eeyore from Winnie the Goddamn Pooh, the way that she makes us all depressed with her racist ass mindset. She's giving me old hateful lunch lady tease. She's giving us all types of, it's dark-sided type of tease, and it makes sense because honestly she's serving me all types of Darth Vader. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that she's constructed like she's built like dark-sided. I want to thank everybody so much for watching, and hopefully we can find a way to delete this picture not only from the internet but from our minds so that we all can have a good goddamn evening.